Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are some of the most beloved Sonic games ever made, but after replaying Sonic Adventure 2 and a Sonic Adventure fan game, I started to wonder something. Over the last few years, Sonic games haven't really been notorious for re-releasing games in the series, unless it's arguably the first few games in the series. The most recent games to get re-releases in recent history would be Sonic 1 through 3 on various consoles and collections, Sonic CD, Lost World on Steam, and Sonic Colors Ultimate back in 2021, which I bought and made me rethink some of my life decisions. And more notably, Sonic Frontiers is getting a definitive edition sometime later this year for the 35th anniversary. Not sure how to feel about that, but especially over the last 6 years, Sonic has been on a steep rise with success after success thanks to all the exposure the franchise has been getting. Should Sonic focus on remaking games as well as focusing on the franchise's future? Starting with the obvious side, remakes. Games like Adventure 1 and 2 aren't just any old Sonic games. They were foundational, so influential in the Sonic franchise that Sonic Adventure alone shaped how fans and a new generation saw the character overall. The adventure style was born, and Sonic became something new. Sonic got a new look. He became taller, lankier, and more expressive. He was already recognizable, but now, more than ever, the adventure games doubled down on the momentum-based gameplay Sonic was known for. Sonic was started at slow speed and you would gradually speed up as you took advantage of your environment. The better you played, the faster you could go and look good doing it. Just like the original Genesis games, but this time it was different. 3D was a big variable. You had more freedom to move around, explore your environments, and new ways to traverse through levels, like rail grinding introduced in Sonic Adventure 2. While the gameplay was an evolution in the franchise, so was the storytelling. Gone were the days of Sonic being the silent protagonist who rescued critters. Now he was battling water gods, running from sociopathic truck drivers, and having a more serious, albeit darker, storytelling compared to his 90s era short and pudgy Genesis counterpart. But the question is, although this era of Sonic did push the franchise forward, do we actually need to revisit it? Well, maybe. As of now, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 don't have any plans to be remastered or remade, but there's an entirely new generation of people who have never played these games, and honestly, the growing fan base in Sega could benefit, but only if these remakes and remasters are done the right way. As praised as they are, the original adventure games, even games connected to that era like Sonic Heroes, had their issues. Remakes could fix performance issues, adding in modernized controls, and I believe this is the most important part, preserving a piece of gaming history, because right now, the only ways to play Adventure 1 and 2 are to either get them on its original hardware or play it on these systems right here. With games like Sonic Heroes, it's even worse, with that game being stuck on its original hardware. With all of that in consideration, new fans could experience some of the games that made some of the biggest impact. But here's the problem. Sonic doesn't have the best track record with remasters or remakes at all. Sonic games up to this point have never gotten a full-fledged remake within the series, but we have seen what happens with some of the remasters. I'm probably beating a dead horse when I bring this up, but take Sonic Colors Ultimate for example. Instead of feeling like the definitive version, it ended up being, well, a mess. This shows something important. Just because the original game was good doesn't mean the remaster will be. And we've seen this in other franchises across the gaming industry, especially in recent years. If a remaster or even a remake is rushed or not carefully handled, it'll just end up damaging the trust that we've built with Sega over the last few years. Now let's flip it. Because Sonic is now actually in the best place the franchise has been in years, Sonic Frontiers shows that Sega is willing to experiment again. Frontiers gave a bigger world to explore, a different yet familiar structure, and most importantly, a new direction. Looking back at Sonic's history, the franchise has always thrived when it was willing to take chances, not when it was willing to play it safe. If Sonic were to focus too much on remasters, there's a risk, and we've seen it before. As much as I love the Sonic Adventure games and Heroes, I can only imagine that working on them anytime soon might slow down development for future titles, unless they were to split up development, which has been done before as well. In 2005, Sonic Team split into two different teams. One team would go on to develop Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, while the other team would go on to develop Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Wii. This would ultimately cause problems for Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 later on. I really want to see the series continue to progress, and recently, it feels Sonic is finally getting that chance to really move forward in a positive way. So should Sonic focus on remakes and remasters? Yes, but not as a priority. The best chance for Sonic to continue to have a good future is a balance. Carefully choose remasters that we'd love to see, while still pushing forward with modern experimentation like Frontiers. But the key word is carefully. Sonic doesn't need more releases, it just needs the right ones. And that's really the question Sonic is facing right now. How do we continue to move forward without losing what made Sonic in the first place? But I want to know what you think. Should Sonic double down on remasters like Frontiers Definitive Edition, or maybe the rumored Sonic Unleashed remaster? Or is it better for the franchise to fully focus on the future? Let me know in the comments down below about your thoughts. And if you like this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing, because I'm going to be making a lot more content like this. Thank you for watching, and peace.